know that Solomon, he was not a priest, and yet because of money, he could dedicate the temple. He dedicated the temple not because of the anointing, but because of the money. He prayed and dedicated the house of God until the priests themselves could not enter into their place. Solomon was a member of a church. He wasn't a pastor. He wasn't a prophet. He was a businessman, a successful politician. Am I talking to somebody? God had so many things to communicate and to share with his people, and he would give instructions. Moses talked to the rich. Moses talked to the rich. Tell them how to behave, how to treat the poor. There was never a message from God to the poor. Not because God doesn't want to talk to the poor, but poverty doesn't allow a person to comprehend what God is saying. If God says, the poor you shall always have, he's not talking to the poor. He's not talking to the poor. For you to have the poor, you can't be poor yourself. If you want to continue helping the poor, please don't join them. Don't be one of them. From the day you join them and you become like them, you start also receiving assistance from the rich. There's something very, very interesting which I looked at. I'm not confirming that it is true, but let me just give it to you for interest's sake. There is a Japanese scientist. Though some of the scientists are saying it might not be true, it might be true, there are still some speculations there. He discovered that water has a memory. Water can capture information. Now, the way they did it, they went to a place, collected water from the same source, and divided that same water into different portions. And words were spoken upon each container separately. And the water was now refrigerated to the same degree. And to their amazement, you can see images of the water that was exposed to negative words. And you look at the water that was exposed to positive words. Up to now, I think most of the scientists now are also now joining him. They are now believing that the molecular structure of the water changes when you begin to say words in the presence of water. You take that water, you put it into the refrigerator. The way the crystals begin to form, it is different. You look, he spoke to a certain body and he said, good, blessed, prosperous. You look at the formation, the structure of the crystals. And another one he cursed. He said, you are nothing, you amount to nothing, poor, poverty. If you look at the structure, it was difficult for the water to bring about a crystal-shaped like thing. Now, and another experiment was done in a different place. It wasn't even an experiment. These were scientists, they were in a meeting discussing about the nuclear, how to come up with better nuclear weapons and so on. And during that meeting, they couldn't finish it because all of them, they started having some running stomachs. And all of them, all of the scientists that were present, they were admitted. And now the doctors were trying to find what was the cause, and they realized that the water that was present on the table, as they were discussing poisonous substances. Now listen to me now. Listen, let me finish. Let me show you something. And as they were testing the waters, from the water that was the closest bottle to the lecturer was the most poisonous. These are not, I'm not saying they are born again, these are scientists. My issue now is, let's say it's a lie. Congratulations if it is a lie. What if it is true? If that is true, and looking at you now, it is known also scientifically that you are 60% water. Right? And you being water, and you have been exposed to negative information, negative statements. As you were growing up, your mother was actually telling you, you amount to nothing. Your teacher said you amount to nothing. People around you were just undermining you and confessing negative statements upon you. And yet you are 60% water. Imagine the structure, imagine the form that you have taken because of negative words. You have to open your eyes. You have to activate something in your life from today. Listen to me. When you begin to utter words, your body responds. Words are things. Stop confessing poverty. Get into a process of eliminating negative people and negative things. Negative people, people that are always negative, 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 negative. They oppose everything that you say. You mention your dream to them, they can't believe that you can fulfill it.